Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. 2015 NFL Week 11 preview. We have two undefeated teams left. Carolina Panthers in the NFC and the New England Patriots in the AFC. How about that? Could that be the 2016 Super Bowl 50? Undefeated team versus undefeated team. Have a 16-0 Patriots and a 16-0 Panthers. After playoff run, both teams 18-0. So we would guarantee a perfect team. Is it possible? Hell, I don't know. In sports today, God knows what will happen. Both teams could lose the rest of the games this year. I mean, 9-7. Who knows? Highly unlikely, but hey. All right, Thursday night we start off with Tennessee Titans at 2-7 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars at 3-6. Titans are 2-2 on the road, while the Jaguars are 2-2 at home. Brian Hoyer of the Titans is 10th in passer rating, while Talvin Smith is 3rd in tackles for the Jaguars. Both teams are 0-2 in the division. It's a big AFC South matchup. The current line of this is Jacksonville by 2.5. I'll take the home team here. I'll take Jacksonville. I think they'll win. They'll cover the 2.5, and I'll take the under on the 43 points. Next, we have the Indianapolis Colts, 4-5 versus the Atlanta Falcons at 6-3. Andrew Luck is 31st in passer rating for the Colts, while the Atlanta defense is 14th in tackles. Yeah, the Falcons are favored by 7 at home. I don't want to shit on the Colts too bad because they were my Super Bowl pick and my NFL playoff preview predictions. So yeah, I don't want to shit on them too bad. It looks like they'll win the AFC South, despite being under 500. Yeah, I got Falcons winning this. They'll cover the 7. I'll take under on the 47.5. Next, we have the St. Louis Rams at 4-5 versus the Baltimore Ravens at 2-7. The Rams' defense is 3rd in sacks, while the Baltimore offense is 11th in total yards. Baltimore's favored by 1 at home. I like to take the Rams here. The Rams win. I'll give them the 1 point. It seems like the Rams, for whatever reason, the games that they're supposed to win, they don't. The games they're not supposed to win, they do. But yet, last week against the Bears, they couldn't stop Jay Cutler. But yet, Todd Gurley couldn't get going against. Excuse me. Todd Gurley couldn't get going against the Bears defense, so it's kind of weird. So if the Rams win in here, they'll cover the 1 point and we'll take under on the 42. Next, we have the next victim of the Carolina Panthers, the Washington Redskins at 4-5. Versus the undefeated 9-0 Carolina Panthers. The Redskins are 0 in takeaway giveaways, so they're taking away as many as they're giving away. Panthers are 16th in total offense, in total yards, but they're 5th in points. Their favorite, Carolina's favored by 8.5 at home. I will take the Panthers to go 10-0, and they will cover the 8.5, and I'll take over on the 45. Next, we have the Peytonless Denver Broncos at 7-2 versus the 4-5 Chicago Bears. No Peyton. Is that really a big deal? He's 32nd in passer rating this year. 4 interceptions, 5 completions last week. He's hurt. That's all there is to it. No quarterback as great as Peyton Manning. Just falls in one game. He's hurt. Let him get off. They're playing the Bears. The Bears aren't that great a team. Are they? Look at Jay Cutler. The last 2 games against San Diego and St. Louis, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. His last 3 games, 6 touchdowns and 1 interception. His last 4 games of last year, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Which side of Jay Cutler are we getting? Are we getting the last 3 games, or are we getting the one from last year? That's the one thing about Jay Cutler. He's been so inconsistent. When you start ooh, he's finally turned a corner, he'll start throwing picks. and the Denver defense is good enough, he does make the smallest mistake, they'll capitalize on it. And I think the offense, even without Peyton, should be able to move the ball a little bit, enough, hopefully, to beat Chicago. So I got, the line on this is even, so there's really no line. The over-under is 43. I got Broncos winning straight up with an under of 43. Next, we have the Oakland Raiders at 4-5 versus the Detroit Lions at 2-7. Derek Carr is 6th in passer rating for the Raiders. Stafford is 23rd in yards per attempt for the Lions. You would think with Megatron and his vertical game and the fact that he can take the top off of defense, 53 receptions, 89 targets. So either the league is figuring out how to cover Megatron, or Stafford can't get him the ball, or he's at least getting the ball in his vicinity and he's not catching it. So I'm not sure which the problem is there, but I'm going to say it's Stafford, not Megatron. Again, this one's even too, even line on this one, over under 48. So I got the Raiders winning straight up, and take over on the 48. Next, we have the New York Jets at 5-4 versus the Houston Texans at 4-5. How the Texans only have 19 sacks this year through 9 games. That's 2 a game plus 1. With Brian Cushing, J.J. Watt, and Giovanni Clowney. I don't understand how the Houston Texans defense isn't much better than they are. Jets are playing great. They're 5-4. They're 12th in total yards on offense. Excuse me. And couldn't find a line on this game, so I'm just going to take the Jets win straight up. All right. Next, we have the Dallas Cowboys at 2-7 versus the Miami Dolphins at 4-5. There is a clutter of 4-5, 5-4 teams in both conferences fighting for the playoffs. Dallas, wow, losers of 7 straight, 25th in offense. While the Dolphins going out and getting Adamika Suh is only 17th in sacks. Another even line, so I'll pick Dolphins to win at home, take over on the 47.5. Next, we have Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4-5 versus the Philadelphia Eagles at 4-5. There are 7 teams in the NFL that are 4-5. Oh, NFC, excuse me. Wrong stat there. 6 teams in the NFC that are 4-5. 2 games below the cut line for the playoffs. So we got basically 2 teams really going to two franchises going in opposite directions. You have the Buccaneers with Jameis Winston, his rookie season, his 9 games into his NFL career. Hopefully he's on the way up. You got Mike Evans, top tier receiver. But then you get the Philadelphia Eagles with Chip Kelly and Sam Bradford. Is Bradford a Chip Kelly quarterback? What Chip Kelly wants to run, I think he needs a Mariota type, a Colin Kaepernick, a Robert Griffin III, a Johnny Manziel type of quarterback, not a pocket passer. DeMarco Murray is not a Chip Kelly type running back. That's why this team is 4-5. I had them winning at home here. I'll let them cover the 7. I'm taking over on the 50. I think you'll see some points in this game. But I think somehow Philadelphia pulled out at home. Next, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at 4-5 versus San Diego Chargers at 2-7. Chiefs have won 3 straight, while the Chargers have lost 5 straight. 2 teams in the AFC West going in polar opposite directions here. You have the Chiefs, trying to overtake the Broncos, still a few games behind them, while the Chargers are just sitting at the bottom. Obviously, the Chargers have a uncertainty about their future in San Diego. Will the Chargers end up with the Raiders in LA? Will the Rams end up in LA? Will the Chargers and/or the Raiders end up in St. Louis? What's going to happen? I had the Chiefs winning. They're favored by 3 on the road. I've been covering the 3. Excuse me. Cover the 3 and under on the 44 points. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers 6-3 versus the Minnesota Vikings 7-2. Yes, Gio, I know your Vikings are dominant this year. Adrian Peterson is a beast like always. Sorry, I had to get that out there. Packers are 4-2 in conference, 1-1 in their division, while the Vikings are 4-1 in conference and 3-0 in the NFC North. What makes those two stats important is tiebreaker, especially the head-to-head. So if whichever team wins this, if they end up tied with the other team, they'll have the tiebreaker, and then the second tiebreaker is the division and conference and stuff. Another even line, so I'll straight up pick the Minnesota Vikings to win. They'll be over on the 45 points. And then we'll make that under on the 45 points. These two defenses are actually pretty good. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers at 3-6 versus the Seattle Seahawks at 4-5. Navarro Bowman leads the league in tackles for the 49ers, while the Seahawks are 27th in passing yards, 4th in rushing. So pass the dang ball. So run the dang ball. Just saying, I mean, 2 years in a row, you're top tier in running and middle of the pack to the lower of the pack in passing, and at the end of the Super Bowl, you throw a pass. Run the dang ball, Pete Carroll. You do it all year long, do it in the Super Bowl. Seattle's favored by 13.5 at home. 49ers are a joke. I had them winning that, covering, and under on the 40 points. Next, makes this match even more intriguing, our game. Cincinnati Bengals 8-1 versus the 7-2 Arizona Cardinals. Bengals have scored the 3rd most points in the league, where the Cardinals have scored the 2nd most points in the league. So this game will have some points scored. Current line is 2.5 for Arizona. I was actually going to take the Bengals until the Monday night game. I wrote this all out before the Monday night game happened. I'm taking the Cardinals at home. They're favored by 2.5. They'll win and cover. Over under 50. Take the over. So the Cardinals winning at home, covering the 2.5, over on the 50. And on Monday Night Football, we have the Buffalo Bills at 5-4 versus the 9-0 New England Patriots. Bills are 6th in points scored. New England is number 1 in points scored. This is the top 2 in the AFC. So obviously, the Patriots have a 4-game lead in the AFC. If they win this game, it'll put them 5 games up on Buffalo. They'll basically have the division wrapped up with 6 to play. New England's favored by 7.5 at home. I have them winning, covering, and over on the 48 points. So that will wrap up Week 11 of the NFL football season. Hopefully my picks are a little better than they were in Week 10. Week 10 I ended up 7-7 in straight up picks, 6-8 in over under, and 6-8 in against the spread, and 5-9 in over under. So it is what it is at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Week 11 is about upon us. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show, and have a spiffy night. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channels.